Welcome back to Kakepipe Automotive. In this episode, the car goes back together. So in the last episode, we were talking about rebuilding the engine up, getting everything into place, things taking forever to come, parts and all sorts like that. Well, it didn't stop. So it actually took us about 6 weeks in total to rebuild the engine. But it's now done. I can confirm it's all good-ish. Still need to break it in, so we're going to have to book a track day. We're going to have to get it on the dyno as well. But let me show you around the car. First, I'm going to show you a different clip from just over a week ago of why I may have been having some handling issues with the old anti-roll bar. Have a look at this. So as you can see, I've got a uprated anti-roll bar and the normal one is just underneath it, as you can see there. Look. So if I line these up to the best I can right now, the major area is this bit right here. And what that bit does is that hits the lower arm when the car is compressed. And you can feel how much it's been chipping the paint off. And if you look from the top, the original has a more of a sweep rather than a sharper angle. And you can kind of see that even though it's not a lot, it's about a centimetre away. The original one doesn't touch. This one does touch. And as you can see there, look, even lined up, that's a good 15 mil off, nearly the width of that bar off where it should be. So I have emailed eBac who make this, as you can see, and they definitely said it's for the Mark III. I am running a Mark III chassis, so that's why I'm running that. But it just keeps catching, and I can feel it when I'm driving. So what I'm going to do is put the original back on. I've got some Black Series Powerflex bushes, and I'll be putting these drop links back on, my custom ones. And we're just going to have to live with that until we can find a better solution for this. I think in the future, I will be keeping this one, but I think in the future when we do go a bit more of an advanced setup on the front with the lower arms, that will work, and that will be a better option with some black bushes instead of the crappy soft red ones that they give you. So yeah, that wasn't good. The old anti-roll bar is on with new poly bushes, so new drop links, so we should be good on that front. So I did have a question the other day about what running oil I'm going to use. The Westway Lubricants running oil. I was suggested this. It's nice and cheap. Literally, it'll be going in for about half an hour at the most. Getting it up to temperature, breaking the rings in, getting the engine brake broken in, and then we go to the Castrol, this stuff, 540. This is what I've used for the last 3 years, and when I took the engine apart and the bearings, the state of the bearings, I think I'm going to stick with this. It just worked. My oil temps were lovely. Everything was always lubricated. I didn't lose oil pressure at any time, so I'm going to stick with this. Until we start getting further into the engine development and racing world, I think that will be fine for now. The car. She's all back together. She runs. Obviously I need to break her in, but everything's on. You might notice a few little trick bits there and there, around there. These are bits that we've had to do or wanted to do for a while, so I'm going to take you in a little bit closer to show you what they are. So this monstrosity right here is a 3 litre catch can. This was just bought as a 3 litre tank with these filters, and I've modified it to work for me. And what I've done is, instead of the old one being here, it wasn't in the way of this because I angled it, the actual tank was here. we've now come up here and come over the top straight into it. Now, if my car vents 3 litres of oil vapour or fuel or anything like that that comes out of the top of the head, the valve cover, I'm pretty sure I've already probably dropped the engine on the track at that point, but hey ho, it's for regulation. It's in, it works, it's not going anywhere, and it's really easy to remove and empty and stuff like that. It does have the filler bit on the back so you can see how full it is. I'm just waiting for the plastic to turn up. So further on from that, you might have noticed the top camber caster mounts. I was recommended these by a good friend of mine who's also got a very, very fast Corrado VR6. And he said these are great. They do give a little bit more caster, and obviously I've got camber adjustable as well. So they're in, obviously preliminary in and marked. We will obviously set those up when we get it tracked. Any other changes on the front? Well, not really, to be honest. Everything should be the same as it was. And I wanted to do that to keep it as kind of a baseline going into next season, because remember, I only needed 10 horsepower at the current weight of the whole car. So I've kept it as it is for now, and we will make changes where we need to after it's been broken and after it's been on the dyno. So one of the things that we wanted to get done prior going to Croft was the conversion to an electric power steering pump. Unfortunately, we've just not had the time or the ability to do it, and I'll show you kind of one half of the reason why I've decided to just for now stay with the standard manual based pump on the engine over the Mercedes one. So this is the Mercedes one that I got, and it comes with 3 leads. You've got your power, your earth or ground, and then kind of an ignition. Really simple to wire up, really simple to plug and play into any system. So this is the high pressure outlet, that there is the low pressure side. Unfortunately, as you can probably see, there's only like 3 or 4, if that, threads left in there. And let me get around the side. It's cut at a really weird angle. So what happens is the bolt comes in straight, but actually it will never sit actually on the face. So we did have a look at making a copper spacer and annealing it and getting it to squish, but it just didn't work how we wanted. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to use this. I might use this as a sacrificial one. I could probably clean this all up and weld a bit more onto there and re-tap that. However, I can get a smaller variant of this from the Vauxhall range. I don't know if it's going to be any better or any worse, but I know the Porsche Carrera Cup guys use the Vauxhall one, but other people do use this Mercedes one. So we'll see. This isn't on the important list right now because the original one is in the car. So we're going to look at this a little bit further on a later date. Obviously, I want to sort out this wiring and stuff like that. It's not the greatest to clean it all up. When we've got more time to spend on it, we will do. And we do want to change over to electric power steering. One of the other things that we got picked up on at scrutineering was the rain light. Now, the original rain light was here, just off centre. It's not far off centre, but it is just off centre. And the scrutineer wasn't happy with it being there. He said it had to be bang in the middle of the car, and it had to be an MS UK approved one. So the one that I took off was MS UK approved. However, that's where it went. So we've moved that over. That's on a new loom all the way back to where it should be. So, you know, we just don't want to be picked up on stupid little shit like that and not be able to race or to, you know, not enter. So shit like that. If it's mentioned, we'll pick it up. If it's not mentioned, it'll just stay as it is. One of the other things that was picked up was the earth strap should have had some form of yellow indicator on it, or the ground strap. So we've now done that with some heat shrink. We've also capped both the ground and the positive with covers. And now we are actually missing the second cut-off switch. I did have two. There's the only one now. The other one was there, but it was just overkill, and actually it was starting to piss me off with having to reach back here, turn that on, then having to turn that on. And what we actually found was this was somehow backfeeding the lights. It would turn everything else off when that switch was done, that switch, but however it wouldn't turn off the lights. Don't know why. It's all on the same wire, however it didn't work, and he wasn't happy about that, but he just wanted us to change it, so that's what we've done. So that's pretty much it. Nice short sharp episode on the Corrado VR6. We have an episode with a Polo coming out soon, and we're just waiting on a few parts to turn up, and it needs to get to the dyno. So we only have 4 weeks now until the race at Croft, so I need to get a track day booked to break her in, see how she is on the track, get the tracking done, get a dynoed, and then let's get racing. So that being said, we really appreciate you sticking around. We are nearly at 150 subscribers. It might not seem like much, but actually that's a huge achievement. So please, if you are watching these videos, like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers, guys.